Recording in progress. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining us. I got scan split for camera can see me. This is our owl. It looks all around the room. If anyone participates with me in a special education or FTO meeting, we use this in my office. And I think he comes over. She's got a different setup in her office.
Not as
like
fancy.
the direct, straight ahead. I'm Frank LeBach. I'm the principal.
I'm Vicki Rhodes, principal.
I'd love to have everyone introduce themselves and let us know what town you're from.
Okay, I'm Kara Major. My son, I'm in Watertown, and my son is in 6th grade.
Francis Santana. I have a big theater here in Brooklyn.
Because my wife, she's a factor grade. She's in 7th grade.
Mary News. I am Agatha. I have a 6th grader and an 8th grader. I'm Stephanie Garcia.
Roseanne, my daughter, in 7th grade in Maryland.
It's great to have everyone here today. We did some of our family stuff last year virtually. We had some participants. I want to try to split that up a little, maybe give everyone a chance. I'll record in person ones so if people want to watch them later, they can watch them, and then we'll do every other month virtual as well. That way people can join from different locations. So when I inherited Chase, there was a Families as Teachers as Partners was the organization, or that was named, but it had a different name on checkbook. Turns out the checkbook wasn't a registered business. So I want to try to get us to an official place and have parents involved and families involved in things that are able to support and grow our Chase community more. So for those of you here, I'm hoping maybe you might see something today that you might be interested in helping us with. And if anyone's watching virtually at home at a later time, we also hope that maybe you would find something to do. So I wanted to kind of give you an outline of what we're thinking here. And then we can have a discussion if you have specific interests or whatever. So so the agenda for today is we got some incorporation documents. Just I want to talk through that process a little bit. Maybe something about fundraisers, potential school officers, and our family teacher conferences are coming up in a couple of weeks. And one of the traditions, or my traditions as a principal, is I always like to feed the teachers that night and want to get families involved in helping with that process. Okay. So but basically the two aspects of what we have to do for the incorporation. We have to do filings and web presence. So I have filed nonprofit before and started a nonprofit. So I've done that process a little bit. If someone is interested in doing that, I certainly would be more than happy to turn that over. And then we also have to develop our web presence for our family organization. There's really not much on our school website, but I'd like to add some sections about what's going on with families. So if someone is interested in helping to develop the content for it, I'm not asking anyone to be a web designer in the situation, really just like what's the stuff that should be there that we think is valuable for parents. Okay. In terms of fundraisers, I am running a Spiritware fundraiser currently. I am looking for a parent or two who would be interested in kind of facilitating that process. In other words, organizing the money, organizing the orders, helping place the order, when the order comes in, sorting and sifting, that type of thing. And then we had talked, there was another parent who's no longer with the school, but who was interested in doing some fundraising type stuff. And she and I had talked about potentially doing like a restaurant week, most likely around when conferences take place, not the November ones, but perhaps the March ones. So families that be coming into town might want to stop at a restaurant and support the school. That way it's a really easy way to do it. And any other fundraising ideas that potentially could be on the list, that's up to the families that want to do it. Okay, so we should officially have some school officers and subcommittees. So there's two ways we can structure the officer lines: president, vice president, recording secretary, treasurer, or we can do a president and a president-elect. That person kind of cycles through. So the person's working, or we can do co-presidents or whatever, recording secretary and treasurer. It is feasible for me to be the treasurer. That way we don't have to change the bank documents every couple of years. My last school I worked at, seemed like, as officers changed, I was like having to go to the bank like every other year to re-sign all the documents. And we could potentially avoid that challenge that way. My understanding is the former principal was the treasurer of the organization. Probably for the likelihood of what was going on. This was the list that I had sent out earlier in the year of like how we could get parents involved. And so I just wanted to go through it, being a parent teacher officer, participating in monthly meetings. So just being here and participating, building community. We have our Portugal graduate leadership cadre, and that group works to develop what we're hoping the continuum once we have the high school program from 6th to 12th grade, what that looks like and what learning looks like across all of that. We have a coalition. I know some of you have actually participated in some of my coalition meetings by giving us feedback on the work we're doing. I think that's been really cool and very positive. Get parent feedback. We really don't have a sports boosters program, but I think we should. We have a lot of kids that are involved, and there was a really cold soccer game yesterday that the boys did really fantastic, and it would be great if like our sports boosters were selling hot chocolate or something, or just even providing hot chocolate.
I
Well,
noticed that some of the other volleyball games that we went to that were away.
yeah,
they had sessions.
so it's a way we can help boost the sports. Same thing with music department. We will have our concerts in December and May, and they could always use support as well. Our drama group, they're starting auditions, I believe, next week for the drama production. So they need support as well. And I always say, if a parent wants to volunteer, it's whatever is best for the parent. If volunteering as a parent means you want to make a special meal and send it in with your child one day when we have a meal for teachers, that's wonderful. And that's great. If volunteering means you want to be at the school on a regular basis, helping with the operational things that parents do, that's great. But whatever works for families is what we're interested in getting in terms of our partnership. Chaperoning an event or dance. We had a number of parents here as chaperones for the dance last Friday, and it was
I requested music from the DJ and I asked him to play Stevie B. And I got up there and I danced. And some of the teachers came out and danced.
Yeah, that's great. Like I said, making a meal for conferences or teacher appreciation week, helping to judge it. Maybe you're a scientist or engineer or an artist, and you could help us by judging one of our STEAM events. We did a walkthrough last week where we got community members give us feedback on how welcoming our school was. And then just in general, leading an event or fundraiser that's non-defined, but that's something that you want to personally do because you have a passion or interest in doing it. So our immediate needs right now are helping incorporating the organization. So if someone's interested in doing some paperwork around that, chairing, we need a chair for the spirit wear. And then we need a chair for the family conferences dinner, or co-chairs, or whatever it looks like. It doesn't matter to me. Or just a group of volunteers that want to hang out and have me do the legwork with the messaging, and they'll come in and help out the night of and serve and whatever, or help organize and do the setup and cleanup. That's the type of thing we're looking for in terms of immediate needs. So I think if multiple people are interested in being officers, and the same officers will do what's standard and have people write statements, and we can distribute that out and have elections. If there's not that interest and we have a spread of what people want to do, we can do that as well. But I think what I want to do now is kind of just open it up to the floor. I'll take some notes and see what kind of interests people might have for us.
So what is the time frame for the spirit wear?
So the orders are currently coming in right now. So I think it would probably be like next week or the week after. I think we'd send one more round of are you interested, so we can get the numbers high enough to get the order done, because we have piecemeal stuff, like we have minimums on certain items. So if we don't have enough items, we're not going to be able to place.
Is there gonna be a school, like, if you order minimums, you have a school store, or people provide stuff after the fact?
We could do that. I've generally done it in waves. It seems to work well in places I've been, because then like it all comes in, we distribute it, and then we're kind of done with that situation. We move on to the next one.
Sorting.
Yeah, we would sort it here, and it also saves on all the shipping costs too, because like a lot of these school stores, they ship to you or whatever, and then like the prices get jacked up. And I was able. No, we would, no, we want people here. We're happy to have people here, so the work can be done here, and we'll get it out. We give it right to the kids, they take it home with them.
So is it
But that would be at the discretion of the people who wanted to do it. Yeah, so I mean, we could do it during the day. If not during the day and someone wants to come later in the afternoon or early evening, I can stay one day and we can do it then too. So. Great. Maybe can I pass this over to you, Vicky, and maybe I'll facilitate. Maybe just like that slide. Okay, so you're signing up.
Every night, right?
Yeah.
Come over.
Hey, how are you? Please help yourself some food too.
You know, I'm gonna put it around.
Okay, so that's Coco sing along. I guess we don't need that. I haven't figured that this is my new projector. It's battery powered. It's got a built-in speaker. I can't figure out how to turn it off though. So okay. Anybody interested in helping out with the so the dinner is next conference is next Thursday.
Next Thursday and then, when's the Thursday one?
We'll check it right now. It's going to be the one where the teachers are staying into the evening.
Yeah, so the 5 o'clock one is next Thursday. The next.
So are we packaging it up?
Nope.
Or-
What we'll do is like in this room, we'll set up a buffet and I'll put out the call on Monday. If you'd like to send something or bring something in, please sign up to do so. And then we'll order food too, but it's really like a setup, cleanup, that type of thing. So the conference,
Start at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. So we'll put set up like 4 o'clock setup. Yeah. And somebody might just want to make meals and send meals in. Or I'll always cover that another way. So, but I think when you ask families for a variety of things, you generally meet those needs. Well,
I'll be willing to send something.
that'd be great. Okay. Is anybody interested in doing the legal work?
She's done it before. She set up the organization for the dance studio.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so you
Are we-
gotta
but-
lay
but-
on her, but she will say yes.
I signed up for everything. Like they're volunteering, but they're volunteering each other is what I love. Uh-huh. Sure, that'd be great. What's your place? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Very cool. That's great. Anyone have officer interests? No.
She already did that.
Rick? Okay. Okay, great.
The best when you volunteer someone who's not here.
Yeah.
Guess what? They chose you.
Well, my friends, so the Music Educators Association, when someone raised their hand to complain about something, they would automatically be nominated and voted to be in charge of that.
I'll take that.
So it doesn't put with my
Yeah. You know, I mean, the nature of family organizations at middle school is different, as it is different at high school too. I mean, we're really interested in supporting teachers, and it's not as much of the wrapping paper and you know, little fun nights but yeah, well, those are not really in the nature of the beast here. It's really more general type stuff and support of the kids, and like the support of parents. I always say, middle school and the high school level, support of parents looks very different. Like usually parents do their thing, the kids do their thing, and maybe they wave to each other at some point, and the kids are. Does anyone else have interest or things they want to talk about or be willing to support? Okay, great. Does anybody want to know anything? You know, that's also a nice thing about family teacher organizations is like, if you have questions, like you got the principal, you know, and the assistant principal here right now. If you have questions you want to ask about the school or things you want to know. So theoretically, eventually that's supposed to happen. We are getting word they are trying to put that off again because of the renovation. We think we're not really quite sure why, but we are eventually supposed to be a 6th through 12th grade. No. So what'll happen? We'll do 1 year at a time because the number of students is basically going to remain the same. So right now we have ideally we have 250 per grade level. That'll eventually change to like 115 per grade level. And then, so what'll happen is you'll theoretically have 700 students here. Now you're gonna have 9th grade. Well, you can't have like 900 students here and bring next group, or not bring anybody in next. So what we'll do is probably some of the students won't go to 9th grade with us. They'll go to other places, and then we'll bring in a smaller 6th grade, and then we'll eventually phase it in. So after, 7 or 8 years, it'll all be hopefully normalized. Yeah, it's hard to say. I can't predict. I mean, I was hired and I said we want you to start that next year, and that was this year. So
How are renovations going?
so we've emptied it. Well, I think what the kid. Well, we've done stuff in preparation of it. Like if you go up to our building at the top of the hill, the St. Margaret's building, it's pretty empty. There's not a lot left in it. And our international house is storing a lot of the historical stuff that is part of this campus. My understanding is we're working on a termination agreement with our construction management group because now they don't think they're able to manage the project. They're having a staffing issue, but the architectural stuff is all pretty close to finalized. We were like 100% drawings. It's at the state for approval or it's gone through approval at the state. So now, and the problem is, the agency has to be careful not to compete against itself because it has multiple building projects going on at the same time. So they're going to be bidding against themselves if they don't stagger it the right way. So the idea is like if they work at one of the projects, like Wintergreen or whatever, then that team could potentially move up, or electrical team could potentially move up here and start working up here on the work that's getting done here.
Hot lunch?
No,
Lunch.
it'll be cold lunch. Yeah, right now the kitchen is still theoretically open in St. Margaret's. Once they start working on a building, that's going to close. In this space we're actually in right now here, this kitchen and this part of the room, wall folds out here. This will become the kitchen. And so the food is being shipped to our performing arts center, which is serving as our swing space right now. So it's not one of the ideal situations. And the kitchen staff has actually been making a hot lunch on Fridays. They've been doing pizza, which has been apparently very popular with the kids. And but I think what's going to happen probably when the building closes, they're going to have to lose that because, there's the oven. So it's the same stove that's in your or my house. you can't make, I think they make like 60 pizzas is for the lunch.
Good place for a pizza restaurant. Oh, good.
I think, you know, we're gonna have some of the kids start giving us feedback on stuff, so if there's something, we're trying to make, you know, it's gotta be cold, whatever, and they've gone, and then they have to be in adherence to the school lunch guidelines, so they're reimbursable meals by the federal government. And so there's specific rules and regulations, although keep my comments to myself about certain things, how I can't understand how, but I guess there's enough influence on that. But yeah, I think they do potato salad. You know, the one thing that I will give them credit for, they like put a lot of fresh stuff out for the kids. Like there are grapes and there are pepper strips and there are, I mean, like fresh vegetables and fresh fruits are out all the time for the kids. So there are good choices that yeah.
But if you wanted to look at just fruit.
No, you have, there's a minimum requirement of what you need to take. I mean, so she could take it and throw the rest out, but you know. I don't know how they would do that.
We usually don't let them leave the
With food.
cafeteria with food because then it's. Yeah.
The recipe for smearing like cream cheese on the wall. You know? Yeah. Yeah.
These strawberries, this food and stuff, but then you go in the courtyard and there would be, you know, banana peels, oranges all over the place because they were taken and they were just like going around it, just bees and stuff. So that's a good thing that you don't let them.
No,
Or they leave it in their locker for like days.
Yeah.
That's not good either.
Can they go up and just get milk?
I don't think so. I think you have to get the whole milk. I mean, I think they might be able to go up and buy milk, but for the reimbursable, the federal reimbursable, it's like you have to take the main meal, at least one fruit, a milk, and something else, and one
Well,
vegetable.
they can't just, go up and get a milk if they go a bunch of them. It is free.
Yeah.
and then just-
I mean, I've been in situations where, well,
You still stay in the lunch or wherever you eat, but if I'm not gonna drink the milk, I just take the milk. There, maybe you want some.
Right.
yeah, we used to do that with fruit at school. And kids after school would come get fruit or whatever, and sometimes we even compost. We were composting for a while as well, but that's that takes a community to make the composting operation go, so and then we did have the bees and whatever, in the fall, so other questions about what's going on at Chase?
It's negative balance is in there.
No lunch at 10?
So so they somehow get snacks and don't pay for it. That would be,
Yeah.
yeah, so last year we had a lot of kids with negative balance, and then I kind of put the kibosh on operations because the kids were charging their snacks but having no money in their account to charge them. So we corrected that, and I think we have one student with a negative balance, which I'm not sure how that happened, because we cleared all the accounts at the end of last year, but apparently someone was forgotten. I don't know how you forget somebody, but you do. And so we have one student with a negative balance. So kids.
What other, don't remember, like, what's fundraising you guys did last year?
So we
What
didn't
other
do-
fundraising. stuff?
So we didn't do any fundraising. The family organization didn't do any fundraising last year. We do have money in an account that we have available to us. Most of the fundraising was done by 8th grade students in preparation for the Washington DC trip, because it is a fairly expensive trip for students. So that's where most of the fundraising took place. Was there anything else?
We did do some fundraising last year in 6th grade to try to raise some money at the end of the last year. And then we obviously did a lot of fundraising all at the beginning of the year to go to Nature's classroom, so.
You guys did a fundraiser, I want to say a couple of years ago, with those logs, those Christmas logs. Remember that?
So I think that was 2 years ago, and I
Yeah,
think
sure.
that was Jim Christensen did it, and it was for the 8th grade trip.
Okay,
Yeah,
because that was really cool, like the log.
yeah, and the wreaths.
Yeah, the wreaths,
Yeah, they
yeah.
were beautiful. So I know that they do a lot of fundraising in 8th grade because that is a really expensive, I mean, it never used to be that expensive and now it's so much more just because things have changed.
Yeah.
When I started, I mean, it was literally less than half when I started as a principal. I've only been, I mean, I'm only a principal 10 years now.
In the St. Nature's classroom, it was one of the 6th graders said on the trip, you know, my grandfather told me that when he went to this trip, it was only $110. Like, well,
My grandfather,
times have changed.
that was
It's
it.
Whatever fundraising we do, where's that money?
So-
Like, those were fundraising specifically for the 6th grade.
So money we would do would go into the family teacher account. And then it's up to the organization what you want to do with the money. So like typically the family teacher will provide meals for teachers at times. I've had groups that have decided they wanted to offer teachers, they had raised a lot of money and they wanted to offer teachers mini grants for projects that they wanted to do in their classrooms, to offer teachers money for things like that. Sometimes family organization can sponsor a student for a trip or partially scholarship a student for a trip. I think once we have the high school component here, we'll certainly want the family organization to provide a scholarship to a graduating senior. So those are the types of
We've
things.
also done, in the past, this organization has done, like, we did coffee truck a couple of times for Teacher Appreciation Week. A luncheon for Teacher Appreciation Week or a breakfast or something like that too.
Other questions? Okay. Well, I don't know who's gonna take food home from tonight, but you're welcome to do, you're welcome to do so, and whatever's left over, we will feed the teachers tomorrow with it. Thank you so much for coming, and if you've got the list of things, we'll follow up, and it's great to have you on board. You know, I think a school only works well when we think about the triangle, the educators, the families, and the students, and all working together for the success of the students. So thank you so much for dedicating the time to be with us today. So I think that's so important in the process of having a great school. Okay. So I am located in this building, down about half. And then Vicky's in Camp Hall, which is the next building up. The majority of the kids have their academics, well, their core academic spaces are in these two buildings. So half of 7th grade and 8th grade is here, and Vicky's building, the other half of 7th grade and 6th grade is there. And that's the majority is happening here. They go over to that building for physical education. They go up to the Performing Arts Center for music. They one building, our library and arts annex. Some of our art is located there. And Project Lead the Way is in here. Art is in Camp Hall. So basically 4 buildings we're utilizing right now, and the library. So 5 buildings for instruction right now. Okay. Let's stop the meeting here. And meeting for all.